Years of experience in growing professionals and businesses through the US and Canada, where she started in entry-level sales and went all the way to CEO by age 43. Miriam believes that the effect you have on people is the most valuable currency there is. I love that so much. Her purpose is to guide driven individuals through ultimate success in less time with fewer struggles, and today, AAREA is honored to invite her here to enlighten us with the nuggets of wisdom that we can use no matter where we are on our real estate journey. Please help me welcome to the stage, Miriam Habashi.
Hello everyone, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Since we don't have a clicker as I'm going through the PowerPoint slides, I might just say next slide each time. And I am so honored to be a part of this event and the beauty of networking, how powerful to continuously strive to meet people that can either connect you to others or be a part of your journey. When we are not networking on an ongoing basis, and I mean weekly, then we are a secret agent. We are a secret leader. So one thing that we could bring to the table from today is the power of being uncomfortable and not staying in your comfort zone and meeting new faces, shaking hands, sort of detaching yourself from the people maybe you came in the car with, and leaving with some opportunities to have one-on-one Zoom meetings, etc. With that said, I'm honored that I could be your guest and share some wisdom today when it comes to leadership. Not that you're necessarily in a leadership role, that's irrelevant. Whether you are working solo or you're a part of an organization, you are your own leader. You are your own CEO. And the decisions you make every day is going to either make or break your business or give you durable growth or rapid explosive growth. So I'm going to talk about leadership. I'm going to talk about a little bit of prospecting best practices, and I'm going to talk about marketing and branding. And of course, if anyone has any questions, just grab me after, and I'm sure I'll find an answer for you. Okay, are we ready to rock? All right, so Melissa already said it, and thank you so much, Melissa, Sherry, for this opportunity, that the effect you have on people is the most valuable currency that there is. So whether people are your client or not, or your prospect or not, being grateful, being kind at all times, going out of your way, whether there's something in it for you or not, is key. And what I call the giver's gain mentality. The more you give, the more you will gain. And someone's always watching.
Wow.
So, my personal journey, this picture is a year and a half old, but I've been married for 25 years. I'm 46 years old. September, I'll be 47. So I've been married for 25 years. I met him in a concert when I was 19, and he was first year dental school. He was broke, I was broke. And we knew we both want to be powerhouses. We both knew that we're looking for a couple that's going to motivate us, push us, and bring out the best in our personal and professional journey, family journey. So that's my husband, Dr. Habashi. He has 5 practices here in San Diego. I'm pushing him to open up the 6th one. When you're married to me, success is not an option and failure is not a choice. Roya, she's 21. She just got her bachelor's from UC Santa Barbara in biology. She's going to go to PA school. And then Shada's the taller one. She's 17 and will be leaving us to UC Santa Cruz. And then Ashton, our son, he's 14 and he's going to start high school. So he right now is almost at his height with big curly hair, so he's going through puberty, I guess. So next, personally, 25 years in business. I was raised by a single mom. I'm Persian, I look Latina, okay, I could speak Spanish as well, but I'm Iranian, I speak Farsi. And when we came to this country, she left an unhealthy marriage and took the chance of coming here with 2 kids with $1,000 in her pocket. She had an MBA degree but couldn't speak English. And she didn't know anything about the corporate culture. So her first job was flipping burgers in Jack in the Box, and we lived in the ghetto in the hood in LA. Sort of like the movie Friday, if some of you are old with Ice Cube. So you had to be street smart, you had to be tough, you had to be a hustler, you had to be fearless. And this woman went from Jack in the Box to accounting to controller to CPA. 19 years ago, opens up her own property management company. Today, if you ask Siri, who's the #1 property management company in the Bay Area, it's my mother's company. So she is a self-made millionaire. And you know daughters. Daughters give their moms a hard time sometimes. She probably doesn't know how much I speak about her on a daily basis and how proud I am and how she is the guiding light and a big reason for why I've become who I've become. But I've been in business, I've been working since I was 14 and a half. She said, you want Guess jeans, which was hot back then you gotta go get a job. And she expected straight A's. She never knew what classes we had, we just let her have straight A's. And then I got my bachelor in business marketing, and then I got my master's in education. From age 23, I started working for Fortune 500 companies. And I always wanted to take the leadership role. So at first, because I like to talk a lot, because I like to give a lot of advice, your numbers need to guide you. If your numbers aren't there, you shouldn't be talking, right? So therefore, I gotta do whatever it takes to have the numbers behind me, so when I do make some statements, it has some validity. And then also being fearless and wanting to lead others, wanting to help others, so that even if they're your competitors, helping them have the fast track to success. And seeing your value in what you've done to impact others throughout the journey. That's my heart right there. In 2014, I spoke on the same stage as John Maxwell. How many of you know John Maxwell? And that's when I had the opportunity to co-author the book called Pure Wealth. 26 authors, 26 chapters. Chapter 1, I talk about what it takes to win. What it takes to win is not about what can I do to get rich quick. There's a lot of things we could do to get rich quick. It's about what is my purpose, what am I passionate about, what is my why, and that why has to be so strong that no matter what happens in your life, personal or professional, you're going to get up, dust it off, and you're even going to do better going forward. And keeping that why to yourself. So here's the secret. You need to be able to sell yourself to yourself every day. That's key. Sell yourself to yourself every day. If you want people to see value in you need to see value in you first. Okay? And a lot of things that we do is nonverbal. And people feel that energy. And then later on, I became an international DISC certified coach. DISC, oh my God, that was a game changer. It was a game changer in my marriage, in my relationship with my children, in people that I had an opportunity to work with and lead, and also learning a lot about myself. Because there is how we perceive ourselves, then there is how others perceive us. You cannot have a one-way, cookie-cutter way that you sell or you communicate with people. You have to understand what is your DISC, dominance, influence, steady, conscientious, combination of those. And then the person you're talking to, what is their DISC, which you could pick that up in about 15 minutes. And then what is the right way to communicate with them in order to connect. Everybody communicates, but not everybody connects. And this is a work in progress, so I do make mistakes sometimes. And then I reflect, and then hopefully I'll do it better next time. So let's go to the next slide right here. Here's a picture working for a Fortune 500 company, heavily invested in the insurance investment industry. I started as a solo agent, eat what you kill. I had 2 kids, 1 and 4. Husband was successful. Husband was bringing home at that time $300,000 a year. I could sit home, I could eat bonbons. It doesn't matter what your significant other makes. Who cares? Who are you? Oh my God. Sometimes I say, why isn't that agent working hard? What's wrong with him or her? Oh, her husband's really rich. Oh, her wife is the... Who cares? You have to have your own self-respect. So at 29, I did not want to leave in Vegas. It's hot, 115 degrees. You got the billboards. You make more money being a stripper than doing anything else. I'm worried about these children. I'm a strict old school mom. I said, we need to leave. He said, listen, Miriam, you're a teacher making $45,000 a year. I'm making this much. We're living in a house we could never have in San Diego. The only way I'll walk away from my practices is if you could match my income. You match my income, I go wherever you say. I said, shake on it. 5 years later, pack your bags, let's go. He said, I'm gonna make you laugh. He said, oh honey, no, I have 2 practices here. Why don't you go with the kids, and Monday through Thursday, I'll work in my practices in San Diego, and then Thursday to Sunday, I'll fly home to be with you guys. I said, so you could fall in love with a stripper? No way. Either we all go or we don't go at all. So this was history right here. First female regional director for a Fortune 500 publicly traded company since 1879. 134 years, they never had a woman in that role. By this time, I am leading 650 agents and leaders. I recruited 15 agents every month to my team for 15 years. And we know the retention ratio when there's 100% commission business. But I wanted more. So once I became the first female regional director, I knew they're not going to make me a CEO. If it took them 100 years to make me in that role, I'm not going to be a CEO. So I left. Now when you leave, some people I know, like real estate, like in insurance, people hop around. You think the grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. Justin Bieber said that, by the way. So the grass is greener where you water it. You need to work on improving you, not keep looking for someone else who's going to create magic with you. What are you going to bring to the table when you're joining these different teams? So I left to represent a Fortune 100 company after this and became the CEO and president. And then I wasn't having fun anymore. And I said, I want to be a business development coach. And last night I was reading through how to become a life coach. So let's go next right here. I'm going to tell you something that's key. We could go on the next slide. Right here. The secret to success. I'm talking to everyone in this room. I'm talking to team leaders in this room that maybe oversee other agents. Anytime you're wondering why someone has a yo-yo production, good month, good quarter, bad quarter, it's 100% related to 2 things. Either we got a will problem, which is motivation and drive, or we have a skill problem, which is training and development, systems and process. If will and skill are aligned, then you will have growth month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year. And I can tell you that for 20 years, I've never had a year that I didn't grow compared to the prior year. That's important. How does that happen? By you being proactive versus reactive. Being proactive versus reactive. And there's a lot of things you can do to help facilitate that. We could go to the next slide, please. So, guidelines for growth. Number 1, growth must be intentional. So whatever move you make, wherever you go, whatever you do, every phone call, every handshake, what is your intent? What are you hoping to get out of this? Just don't go do it and then figure it out later that you could have done a better job. So have a plan in your head of what you want to do. Growth must be intentional. Time management in relation to productivity. How are you managing your time? How are you blocking your time? How are you sitting down and saying, these are all the activities I need to do, and these are the best times and the hours to get it done? Some people tell me, Miriam, for some reason, when I'm recruiting, the production goes down. When I'm concentrating on production, the recruiting goes down. And they have difficulty keeping that balance. Choose the areas of your growth. Create a growth environment. You are the average of the 5 people you hang around with. I'm talking about your friends, and I'm talking about the people at work. And you don't want to be the smartest one in the room, because they're going to learn from you, but you're not growing. And if we're not growing, we're dying. So what are you doing to surround yourself with people who've done more than you, made more than you, impacted more than you, have done whatever you're trying to achieve better than you, so that you don't need to make these unnecessary mistakes and have a fast track to reality so you could stay motivated and fired up at all times. Allow failure to be your friend. Welcome challenges. It's a part of life. So either you're going to learn from it and not do it again, or it's going to open your eyes to something you need to be more aware of. So welcome challenges in your business, as long as you're not making the same mistakes over and over again. Now that one wouldn't make sense. Develop systems to help you grow. Most people that I coach, 50% of my client base are realtors throughout the US and Canada. A lot of my clients are actually here today, and I'm so honored that you're here for this support. They lack systems and process. How are you selling without an offering PowerPoint? You can't just talk. People only retain 10% of what you say. What does that PowerPoint look like? Most realtors aren't aware of what is a fact finder, which is an intake form. You can't sell. You need to be an expert. You need to be a consultant. And when you're a consultant, they speak first, not you. You're asking open-ended questions. You're writing things down. You're creating what I call like, know, and trust. You're understanding what they're hoping to achieve. And then you're showing them a PowerPoint. That's when you speak. And you're walking them through what you're going to do that's going to separate you and your team from any other agency within San Diego. Be a river, not a reservoir, meaning things need to always be moving forward, flowing, going forward, one thing connecting to the next, and then be comfortable with being uncomfortable. If you're in your comfort zone and you got no stress, and you're not worried about something new that you're doing or learning, then you're not growing. So I'd like you to think about that as well and see what you're doing to position yourself to the next level. So everything rises and falls on leadership. If you're a team leader and you guys didn't meet your goal, it's not your people's fault. It's your fault. So I want to say that. What are you doing that maybe caused that goal not to be met? Were you classroom training too much versus field training? Were you reactive? Were you inconsistent? Were you maybe recruiting the wrong people? Are you retaining people that shouldn't be in the team? So there's a lot of factors that are involved. But leadership is not a position or a title. It is an action and an example. A lot of people think that just because you're a good salesperson, you're a good leader, and that's not true. That's completely two different things, and trust me, I've had my growing pains of things that I shouldn't do, I shouldn't have said, or I should have done differently. I've learned from a lot of these mistakes, and my goal is to transfer that to people so that they don't make those mistakes. Next, please. 10 daily leadership goals. Number 1, let go of your ego. Effective leaders do not lead purely based on personal gain. A lot of people do humble bragging, or they're saying something, but they're not really doing what they're saying. So it's important that that is aligned. Okay?
Absolutely.
Number 2, we lead in order to serve others, exemplifying gratitude at all times. Become a good follower first. Every leader is always a student at heart, and they're always learning. Because what will happen is if you're not challenging yourself to learn all the time, people eventually will say, you're awesome, but I think about growing your leadership. And it's time for me to maybe go to another team or someone else and see if I could get more goodies on the table. So you always need to be a step ahead of whatever your client's knowledge is or whatever your team's knowledge is. Build positive relationships. Their influence is created through trust, communication, and consistency. So when you promise something, it's important that you deliver it. When you have a problem with someone, it's important that you don't talk to anybody else about it. So trust no one, okay? Because once this comes out, you don't know where it went. Everybody agrees? Okay. Especially when you're in a leadership role. Let private conversations remain private. Because when you go talk to someone else about it, they're saying, oh my God, if I got a problem with this person, they're going to be telling everybody else. And you're saying, shit. Okay? Very important. And work with excellence. A leader leads from the front. And here's another thing I've just come into my mind as I'm talking to you. Sometimes leaders will tell me, I don't know why nobody wants to step it up. I don't know why they don't want to go into my role or a leadership role. Maybe you've made your role unattractive. So sometimes we're telling people how hard we're working, we didn't sleep last night, we're running with the chicken without a head because we're trying to say that we're busy leaders. But what we don't realize is we're making our role unattractive, and the person is saying, my God, this person has no life balance, no harmony. I don't think I want that job. And we don't even think about that. So I learned that mistake. Everything I'm telling you, I did, by the way. So I'm learning these mistakes throughout time. Next slide, please. Rely on logic, not emotion. One of the reasons that people in sales, regardless of the industry, struggle is because they're bringing emotion into the game. And as women, we are more emotional creatures. So it's very, very important that every decision you make in business is based on logic. Not feeling sorry for someone, not keeping them too long, or not saying something they need to hear because you know it's going to make a difference. So there's a tactic and an approach and way to do everything, but being real, being honest, being transparent, and making decisions based on logic to protect the greater good is a big part of being a strong businesswoman or man. Make adding value your goal. So leaders impact people. You need to love someone as much as when they came to your team, as much as when they left. That respect should not change. When I was younger, I fired people real quick. Okay? When I was in my early 20s. Then by the time I became 40, I never fired anyone again. I didn't. I would sit you down and I would ask you a bunch of open-ended questions. How are you doing? Are you struggling? Do you feel you're connecting with the team? Are you doing the things we've taught you? And the person would start to tell me how they're not doing any of that and they're not connecting and it's not going anywhere. So based on everything you're telling me, I accept your resignation. And I will help you find the next person that could facilitate that for you. So there is a tactic and a way to respect someone so they could go home and say, I quit, I resigned, not I got fired. Very big. Not burning bridges as you're leading. Or some people are really nice to a client who wants to purchase, but then the minute the client changes their mind or something, you see this come out. No. We're nice no matter what, because these people are your today, some people are your today clients, some people are your tomorrow clients. And word gets around. So building positive relationships. And delegation is important. If you want to scale your business, how are you delegating? You need to do what you do best, and you need to outsource the rest. So I'd like you to sit down and make a list of everything you're doing and all your responsibilities and say, am I delegating so that I can concentrate on where I'm needed to bring in the most profit or the most impact? So maybe posting on social media every day for a couple of hours, maybe we could outsource that to someone who's a social media guru. And so we could go and make another phone call, another prospect, and get another client. Next slide, please. Give people time, not just money. People don't leave because they weren't making enough money. Money is usually not the reason people left. People left for many other reasons. So be mindful of that. Even when you're selling, it's not a rate battle, it's not a percentage battle. It's the value you're going to bring to the table. And if you could showcase that before you talk about the cost of something, then you possibly have a customer or a client who wants to work with you. So leaders value people. They don't value primarily production. I see a lot of realtors that do not have reporting. So they don't have reporting when they're running weekly, monthly, quarterly meetings. So nobody knows who's who. Someone might be a big talker. Maybe they're dressed up in designer every day, so they naturally think that person's a top producer, but maybe they've had one transaction in 6 months. So what happens is people are leading the blind is leading the blind. And our job as producers and leaders is to eliminate the blind leading the blind. So when I was back in sales in my younger days, sure I was friends with everybody, but if production was equal or below me, we were lunch friends. Other than that, I got people that I want to learn from because I want to, make my mentor my rival. So think about that as well, so you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Be patient. Be patient. As long as you have a system and a process, as long as you're surrounding yourself with the right people, you will see results. And I know we all want it now, especially the younger generation. They want it now. They be patient and trust the process. And then eat last and create safety. And what I mean by that is our job is to protect our girlfriend, to protect our guy friend, to protect the people in our team, to be positive, to stay away from drama. And so eventually people know if they're upset, they're not probably a good person to vent about. Okay, so separating yourself from any kind of negativity that could affect you or affect the imprint or perception you have of somebody else. Next, please. All right, leadership takes tactics. And if you like this, you're welcome to take a picture of it, because I love this. I love our CEO for one of our Fortune 500 companies, and when he was retiring, I took this from him. He said, leadership is to be strong, but not rude, to be hard, but not weak, to be bold, but not a bully, to be thoughtful, but not lazy, to be humble, but not timid, to be proud, but not arrogant, have humor, but not be reckless. It's a lot of work. It's not easy being a great leader. And each of you are leaders on this table, leading your business through explosive growth, whether you're solo or you belong to a team. Next slide, please. The will to succeed is important, but also what's important is the will to prepare. We cannot succeed if we are not preparing. So a lot of people that I work with don't know how to set correct goal-setting blueprints. They're focusing on the result. This is how many houses I want to sell. This is how much money I want to make. This is how many people I want to recruit. But what's missing is, what is the daily activity, weekly activity, monthly activity, quarterly activity that is going to lead to those results? And once that's clear, and the numbers are what I call SMART. How many of you know what I mean by SMART goal setting? I love it. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, with a timeline. Most of us forget to put a deadline, so as humans, we're procrastinators, some more than others. So we talk about that. Could go to the next slide, please. Ways to grow your business. Increase your prospecting activities. What do I mean by that? Here's my recommendation. And I'm not pulling these numbers out of a hat. Okay, this is 25 years of experience. Are you making 15 appointments a week so that you could keep 10? Because 5 will reschedule or cancel naturally. And out of 10, if you're not really a great salesperson, you should have a 30% closing ratio. And if you're coaching with the right people, that ratio should be 50% or more. So if every week you made the effort to block time, to put in the time, to make 15 appointments and you keep 10, you will close 3 to 5 contracts per week. How much money would you be making? How big would your client base be? How much more confidence would you have? Money doesn't bring happiness, but what you could do with money creates happiness. How about the role model we are to our children, to our spouse, to our parents, to our teammates? So that's the number of prospecting activities. Increase the number of appointments, increase the number of customers, increase profit per transaction. Sometimes the realtors that I work with say, I keep selling like $500,000, $700,000 homes. I really want to jump to $1 million or $2 million or $3 million. And if that's the plan, you can make that happen. And there's going to be a different way you're going to approach these clients and have a solid system in order to play with the big dogs. So continuously pull yourself up to the next direction. And then increase the frequency of follow-ups. Annual reviews is reactive. Quarterly reviews is proactive. Now you might sit here and tell me, Miriam, I have 4,000 people in my database. Do you want me to call everybody every quarter? No. but do you have an electronic newsletter? Are you educating people? Are you inviting people to some sort of educational seminar once a month or once a quarter where you're talking about real estate best practices? Are you becoming an expert in your field? Look at your social media. When you look at the social media, what is it telling me? Does it tell me that I'm at the club all the time? Does it tell me I'm at the golf course all the time? Does it tell me I'm on mommy duty all the time? Or is it telling me that I'm a balanced businesswoman and a professional? So sometimes what we have on social media doesn't match who we want to be and what we're doing. And all the stars need to be aligned. And then of course, where does the money come from? Repeat customers, repeat relationships. How many referrals are you receiving every 2 weeks? In my system, ask my students on the table, they're receiving 20 to 50 referrals every 14 days with the system we've put together. Referrals are huge. If you could get referrals, that's less hustling, grinding, cold calling, and some other things that you need to do in your business. So we need to really hone in on our existing clients. Next slide, please. Winning sales habits. These are your 4 winning sales habits. So if you want to mark that down and then see what area maybe are you strong in or what area do you need more improvement on. Prospecting habits. I could write a book on that one, but our 3 months program will show you that. Organizational habits, approach habits, and follow through habits. If these are on point, you're golden. Next. Prospecting habits. What's the plan? The goal. Know your market, pursue your market, and own your market. Who wants to be mediocre? Who wants to work for the losing team? Nobody. Right? Am I right? Am I right? Yes?
Right.
Okay.
Definitely.
Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
Go on. Next. Your network equals your net worth. My mom told me that. Your network equals your net worth. What does the network look like? Often are we networking? Who are we networking with? Daily reflection, daily self-talk, daily discipline. Every day when you're driving, going to sleep, wherever you are. Hey, how did that meeting go? Would I have done it differently? Did I miss something? Next time, and you have to envision that you did it correctly next time, and you have to envision that you had a positive outcome. Some people self-talk, but they self-sabotage. They say, I knew you shouldn't have done that. I knew they weren't going to pick up the phone. I knew they weren't going to sign that contract. That's poison. Self-talk to empower yourself, to sell yourself, and to know, okay, what do I need to do next time to make it even better? And then your interest versus your daily commitment. When we're interested, we do things whether we're in the mood or not. Today's rainy, I think I'm not going to prospect. Instead it's, today's rainy, everybody's home. Let's go prospect. So, are we doing things because we're interested, or are we doing things because we're committed? How many of you know the word door knocking? Anybody? Door knocking? Yeah. Oh, okay. Door knocking. I'm going to give you a little tip from today on. Let's not call it that anymore. Door knocking sounds like we're pestering people. Doesn't it? It's demotivating. No wonder these agents don't want to go door knock and bother people. Let's call it personal introductions. I am personally going to go introduce myself because I want to give you extra customer service. So how many personal introductions are you doing? That's going to be a game changer right there. And then proactive and productive. Are we proactive and productive? Versus easy and reactive. Next slide, please. Organizational habits must be purposeful. Systems and process, which most people lack. Trust me. I coach 50 people a week throughout the US and Canada. 99.9% of them say, I'm lacking systems and process. That's completely different than training and development, by the way. Proper quarterly goal setting, daily prospecting activities, scripts. A lot of people don't have scripts written down. They shoot from the hip. Scripts. Another nugget to give you. I call it CVS. Everybody knows the pharmacy? Yes? You remember this. When you are developing a script for you or for your people, keep CVS in mind. Credibility, value, and sense of urgency. Who am I? Why me? How active am I? What am I going to give you? What am I going to do for you? People don't care to help us. It's what's in it for them. What am I going to do for you? And then why now? Why today? Why? Why you shouldn't wait? So think about your scripts, think about your forms, presentations and follow-ups, having a CRM system, organically growing your followers. I think the last thing that I opened was Instagram. I had to have my daughter teach me how to use it because I was mainly on LinkedIn. So it's not about the number of followers you have. People buy them, people buy likes. It's about the quality of people you have. How many of those people are your target market? Right? So think about that as well, organic growth. And when people don't buy something from you or they decided not to work with you, at least what you can do is make sure they're following you on social media so that you're constantly in their face, you're constantly letting them know how active you are so that they realize, you know what, I think I need to call and hire her or hire him. So those will be your tomorrow clients. Time blocking and time management, and then automation and technology. Next slide. Approach habits, fearless. High activity, positivity, readiness, enthusiasm, consistency, and persistency. Next. We gotta wrap it up. We could just go to the next slide. This is a journey, not a destination. Realize your strengths, create passion for what you do. If you're not passionate with what you do, it's okay. I've helped some clients move into a completely different business and they're thriving. Take calculated risks, be patient, strengthen your skill sets, and seek opportunities. Next. Let's just keep going. This one's going to be a while. We'll do that next time. Let's keep going. We'll keep going. Here, there's three kinds of people in this world. They're in our family, they're in our team. I hope they're not in this room. But there's the ones that make it happen. There's the ones who watch things happen. And then there's the ones that wonder what happened. Yeah, have you met some of them? Okay. So it's important that we are going to be the ones in this room, that when we leave this room, whether I see you or not, and I hope I meet all of you, that please make it happen. You have a gift. Use that gift. Next slide. Here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. Please, do me a favor. Let's connect. Let's connect. I put a lot of leadership and sales best practices all the time. And whether we work together or not, I want you to be a part of that world. Please follow me on Infused Theory. Let's connect. Everyone in this room, I'm offering you a complimentary 1-hour strategy session. It's a lot of you. Okay? It's a lot of them. So whoever books first gets my time. As much as I could give my time, I'll do it. 1-hour complimentary business strategy session. We'll figure out what's not working for you. I'll give you some tips, whether we work together or not officially. And then please scan me. Please scan me. And the scan is this. It's confidential. No one will see it but yours truly. I want to know what your feedback was on this session. I want to know if there's areas of improvement. I want to know if there's something I need to stop doing next time, or I could do a better job, or continue doing. So please, scan me, fill this out real quick, and then press the submit button, and I'll jump onto my email. Thank you for your time. Sorry to interrupt your meal, and I can't wait to hear from the rest of our incredible speakers. Thank you for being here today.
All right. How's everybody doing? My name is Eric Ty, for those of